I thought I knew about supplements. For 6 months, I experimented with 5 specific compounds that scientists have been studying in labs around the world, and the results were nothing short of shocking. My chronic knee inflammation that had bothered me for 3 years completely disappeared. I dropped 7 pounds of stubborn fat without changing my diet. And here's the kicker. I gained nearly 4 pounds of lean muscle while doing the exact same workout routine I've been doing for years. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true, but stick with me because the science behind these compounds is absolutely mind-blowing. Researchers at major universities have documented these effects in controlled studies, and the numbers don't lie. The number one compound on this list, which I'll reveal at the end, showed something extraordinary in a recent study. Participants taking just 5 grams daily experienced a 43% reduction in inflammatory markers within 8 weeks. Their muscle protein synthesis rates jumped by 38% compared to the control group. This single compound did what an entire cabinet of supplements couldn't do, and it costs less than your morning coffee. You can find all research and medical studies in the description below if you'd like to dive deeper after watching. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now, let's get started. Number 5. Omega-3 fatty acids. Let's kick things off with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the EPA and DHA forms found in fish oil. These aren't just good fats. They're essential fats your body literally cannot make on its own. When you consume omega-3s, they get incorporated into your cell membranes and change how your cells communicate with each other. Think of them like upgrading the software that runs your entire body. The inflammation reduction happens because EPA and DHA produce compounds called resolvins and protectins, which actively tell your immune system to calm down and stop attacking your own tissues. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology followed participants taking 4 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily for 16 weeks. The results showed a 32% decrease in triglyceride levels and a 24% reduction in C-reactive protein, which is a major inflammation marker doctors use to assess disease risk. The fat loss component is fascinating too. Research from Kyoto University demonstrated that omega-3s activate brown adipose tissue, which is the good fat that actually burns calories to generate heat. Participants taking 3 grams daily for 12 weeks showed a 14% increase in resting metabolic rate compared to baseline. For muscle building, omega-3s enhance muscle protein synthesis by improving insulin sensitivity and reducing muscle protein breakdown after exercise. To get maximum benefits, you want to take between 3 to 4 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, ideally with a meal containing some fat to improve absorption. Look for supplements that are third-party tested for purity and check that the EPA to DHA ratio is roughly 2 to 1. Taking it with breakfast works great because you'll be less likely to experience any fishy aftertaste, and splitting the dose between morning and evening can help maintain stable blood levels throughout the day. Now let's move up to something that works at the cellular energy level. Number 4. Coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 is a compound your body makes naturally, but here's the problem. Production drops dramatically after age 30. CoQ10 lives inside your mitochondria, which are the power plants of your cells. Every single cell in your body uses ATP for energy, and CoQ10 is absolutely critical for ATP production. Without enough CoQ10, your cells simply can't generate energy efficiently, which means everything from your workouts to your recovery suffers. The inflammation connection is direct. When your mitochondria can't produce energy properly, they generate excess reactive oxygen species, which are basically cellular exhaust fumes that trigger inflammation throughout your body. A groundbreaking study in the European Journal of Nutrition had participants take 200 milligrams of CoQ10 daily for 12 weeks. They measured a 41% reduction in oxidative stress markers and a 29% decrease in inflammatory cytokines. The participants also reported significant improvements in perceived energy levels and exercise capacity. For fat loss, CoQ10 enhances your body's ability to burn fat for fuel by optimizing mitochondrial function. Research from Iran showed that overweight participants taking 100 milligrams twice daily for 8 weeks lost an average of 6.4 pounds more than the placebo group, despite identical calorie intake. The muscle-building benefits come from improved cellular energy production during workouts and faster recovery between training sessions. Studies show CoQ10 reduces exercise-induced muscle damage by up to 35%, meaning you can train harder and more frequently. The best form to take is ubiquinol, which is the active antioxidant form your body actually uses. Regular CoQ10 supplements contain ubiquinone, which your body has to convert to ubiquinol, and this conversion becomes less efficient with age. Take between 100 to 300 milligrams daily with your largest meal because CoQ10 is fat-soluble and needs dietary fat for proper absorption. If you're over 40 or taking statin medications, you should definitely be on the higher end of that range because both aging and statins dramatically reduce your natural CoQ10 levels. But there's something even more powerful for fighting inflammation at its source. Number 3. Curcumin. Curcumin is the active compound in turmeric that gives it that bright yellow color, and it's one of the most researched anti-inflammatory compounds on the planet. The way curcumin works is incredibly sophisticated. It doesn't just block one inflammatory pathway like most drugs do. It actually modulates multiple inflammatory enzymes and transcription factors simultaneously. The main target is something called nuclear factor kappa B, which is like a master switch that controls hundreds of genes involved in inflammation. When you take curcumin, it prevents this switch from turning on, which means your body produces far fewer inflammatory molecules. A major clinical trial published in Phytotherapy Research compared curcumin to the anti-inflammatory drug diclofenac in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. The participants taking 1,000 milligrams of curcumin daily showed better improvements in pain and joint swelling scores than those taking the pharmaceutical drug, with 0 side effects. Another study in the Journal of Translational Medicine found that supplementing with 1 gram of curcumin daily for 8 weeks reduced inflammatory markers by an average of 65% in healthy adults. The fat loss effects are substantial. Curcumin activates genes that promote fat breakdown and suppresses genes involved in fat storage. Research from Tufts University showed that participants taking 800 milligrams of curcumin extract daily for 12 weeks lost 4.2 pounds more fat mass than the control group, with the majority coming from visceral fat around the organs. For muscle growth, curcumin reduces delayed onset muscle soreness and accelerates recovery by lowering inflammatory damage to muscle fibers. A study with resistance-trained men found that taking 500 milligrams of curcumin twice daily reduced muscle damage markers by 48% and improved next-day performance by 22%. Here's the critical thing about curcumin, though. Your body absorbs it very poorly on its own. You absolutely must take it with piperine, which is the active compound in black pepper, because piperine increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Look for supplements that contain both curcumin and bioperine or piperine in a ratio where the curcumin is at least 500 to 1,000 milligrams, and the piperine is at least 5 to 20 milligrams. Taking it with a meal that contains fat dramatically improves absorption as well. Some people prefer liposomal curcumin or curcumin phytosome formulations, which wrap the curcumin in fat molecules for better delivery. These forms can be more expensive but require lower doses to achieve the same effects. Let's talk about something your muscles desperately need for growth and repair. Number 2. Creatine monohydrate. Creatine monohydrate is hands down the most researched supplement in sports science history, with over 2,000 published studies backing its effectiveness. Despite what you might have heard, creatine isn't just for bodybuilders or athletes. It's a molecule that every human body uses to produce quick bursts of energy. When you take creatine, it gets stored in your muscles as phosphocreatine, which acts like a rechargeable battery for your cells. During intense exercise, your muscles use ATP for energy, and phosphocreatine rapidly regenerates ATP, so you can keep performing at high intensity. The inflammation benefits of creatine are seriously underrated. Research published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition showed that participants taking 5 grams of creatine daily for 8 weeks experienced a 36% reduction in C-reactive protein levels. Creatine also reduces homocysteine, which is an inflammatory amino acid linked to cardiovascular disease. The muscle-building effects are legendary and completely proven. A meta-analysis of over 50 studies found that people supplementing with creatine gain an average of 2.2 pounds more lean muscle mass than those not using it during the same training period. The mechanism is beautiful in its simplicity. More phosphocreatine means you can do more reps, lift heavier weights, and train at higher intensities, which directly triggers more muscle growth. Creatine also increases water content inside muscle cells, which creates a more anabolic environment and signals for protein synthesis. For fat loss, creatine helps indirectly by allowing you to maintain or even increase muscle mass while in a calorie deficit, and more muscle mass means a higher resting metabolic rate. A fascinating study in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that participants taking creatine while dieting lost 3.1 pounds more fat than the non-creatine group, despite losing the same amount of total weight, meaning they preserved significantly more muscle tissue. The beauty of creatine is that it's incredibly simple to use. Take 5 grams daily, every single day, with or without food. The timing doesn't really matter because creatine works by saturating your muscle stores over time, not through acute dosing. Some people do a loading phase of 20 grams daily for 5 days to saturate their muscles faster, then drop to 5 grams for maintenance. But this isn't necessary. Just taking 5 grams daily will get you to full saturation within 3 to 4 weeks. Mix it in water, juice, or your protein shake. The monohydrate form is the gold standard and the cheapest option. Don't waste money on fancy forms like creatine ethyl ester or buffered creatine because research shows they're no more effective than plain monohydrate. Some people worry about water retention, and yes, you might gain 2 to 4 pounds of water weight initially, but this is intramuscular water that makes your muscles look fuller, not bloated. And finally, the compound that changed everything for me personally. Number 1. Collagen peptides. Collagen peptides are the number 1 compound on this list, and for good reason. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your entire body, making up about 30% of your total protein content. It's the main structural component of your skin, bones, tendons, ligaments, and cartilage. After age 25, your body's natural collagen production declines by about 1% every single year, which directly contributes to joint pain, wrinkles, and loss of muscle mass. When you supplement with collagen peptides, you're giving your body the specific amino acids it needs to rebuild these crucial structures. The inflammation reduction happens because collagen peptides contain high amounts of glycine and proline, which are anti-inflammatory amino acids that actively reduce inflammatory cytokine production. A landmark study in current medical research and opinion followed participants with osteoarthritis taking 10 grams of collagen peptides daily for 6 months. They experienced a 43% reduction in joint pain scores and a 39% improvement in physical function. Inflammatory markers dropped by an average of 31% across the group. What absolutely shocked me was a study published in the British Journal of Nutrition that found 5 grams of collagen peptides taken before bed increased growth hormone secretion by 28% during sleep. Growth hormone is your body's most powerful anti-inflammatory and muscle-building hormone. For fat loss, collagen is pure protein with zero fat or carbs, and it's extremely satiating. Research shows that collagen peptides increase feelings of fullness more than whey protein or casein. A 12-week study had participants replace their usual breakfast with a collagen protein shake containing 15 grams of collagen peptides. They spontaneously ate 300 fewer calories throughout the day and lost an average of 8.7 pounds without consciously dieting. The muscle-building effects are fascinating because collagen doesn't work like whey protein. Instead of directly building muscle tissue, collagen strengthens the connective tissue that holds your muscles together, allowing you to lift heavier weights and train harder without injury. A study with resistance-trained men showed that 15 grams of collagen peptides taken 1 hour before workouts increased muscle mass gains by 19%, compared to placebo over 12 weeks. The collagen also reduced exercise-induced joint pain by 52%, allowing for more consistent training. To maximize benefits, take between 10 to 20 grams daily. Timing matters more with collagen than other supplements. Taking it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach allows for maximum absorption, or take it right before bed to capitalize on the growth hormone boost during sleep. Some research suggests taking it 1 hour before exercise enhances connective tissue repair. Collagen peptides dissolve easily in hot or cold liquids without clumping. You can add them to coffee, tea, smoothies, or just water. Look for hydrolyzed collagen peptides from grass-fed sources for the highest quality. The peptides should be between 2 to 5 kilodaltons in molecular weight for optimal absorption. Some people prefer marine collagen from fish, which has slightly better bioavailability. But bovine collagen from cows contains more of the type 1 and 3 collagen your body needs for joints and muscles. Combining your collagen with vitamin C dramatically enhances its effectiveness because vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis in your body. These 5 compounds completely transformed my body composition, eliminated my chronic inflammation, and gave me energy levels I hadn't felt in years. The best part is they're all backed by serious science. They're safe for long-term use, and they work synergistically when taken together. Start with the ones that address your biggest concerns first, then add the others as your budget allows. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our science-based health content. Drop a comment below telling us which compound you're most excited to try and why. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.